Hello and welcome to WorthReviewing, and this is the Renault Trafic Premier Edition. Now, for a van it looks quite smart. As you can tell, it's got white decals on the front bonnet and running down either side. You've then got the colour-coded front and rear bumpers and the 17-inch black alloy wheels, which is quite unusual for a van. This is a short wheelbase version, which is 4.9 metres long, still with an impressive rear compartment, beating its previous version at 4.7 metres long, meaning you can fit more stuff in the back of the van. You've also got parking sensors, and like before, you've got the wide ankle rear door opening. Now there's a camera next to high level brake light. Now if we open this door and close this one, we'll put the lever in place. You can now drive this van with stuff coming up the back, as the door is secure, the number plate is showing and the brake lights are visible, making it road legal, which is a good feature. Coming to the front interior of the van, now the previous versions lack storage space quite a bit, and this is why I think Renault have come up with a clever idea. You push this lever away from you and the centre seat comes down. You release this part, which is a clipboard, and you slot into this place. Or the same again for the passenger side. There's a place to put a laptop or a tablet, and you lift this up and you place a bit more paperwork, which I think is really handy. You've then got cup holders in each corner and one down here. You've then got the open storage compartment, the top glove box, the centre shelf and the lower glove box. This bag is even better. We lift up the front cushions and we get even more storage space. What are you doing here? We ended it last week. Sorry, as I was. Lift up the front flap, now follow me. Now we've lifted up this flap, and now you get even longer room to put in, well, more stuff in. So behind the wheel it's nice to drive. You've got a leather steering wheel, which is nice to hold on to. You then got adjustable armrest and a fully adjustable seat, and you've then sort of got like an armrest on the door trim here, which is convenient. This van's quite kitted out. You've got auto headlights, auto wipers, you've got a speed limiter, cruise control. I've got a central locking, driveway central locking, hill start assist. I've got heated exterior mirrors, which is pretty good for in the winter. You've also got start stops. If you do a lot of city driving, then it's there for you for saving fuel. Or if you do long distance travels, like a lot of motorway journeys, then you've got eco mode, which means if you put your foot down, you won't get so much oomph, as it's saving fuel obviously, but it will increase your miles per gallon. At the moment I'm getting around 36.4 miles per gallon, which isn't bad. I would have thought this van could probably achieve around 40 to 45, but this engine is still quite new, so it's hard to tell, and obviously it depends on your driving style as well. Now the infotainment system in this van is called R-Link, which is a 7-inch touchscreen. It isn't always user friendly, but for a van it's quite good still. You've got DAB, FM radio of course, Bluetooth, sat-nav, which is TomTom. The voice control is here, or the microphone is there rather. So if you're on the phone quite a lot, it's very handy for you. Now the camera on this thing isn't the best quality in the world, but when you're reversing and you've got a blind spot, it's obviously really handy for you, so you don't reverse into someone or something. The only other thing I'd say is the instrument cluster isn't the best instrument cluster in the world. You've got a digital speedometer and the analog rev counter. I'm not really a fan of that. It's something different, I suppose. Each their own, but I'm not too sure. Might have to grow on me a bit. Under the bonnet is the Energy DCI 125. You've also got the Energy DCI 145, which is even more powerful, 145 brake horsepower. You can also get the less powerful engines, which is the DCI 95 and the DCI 120, which are a lot less power. I would say if you don't put a lot in the back, you should be okay. The good thing about the Energy vans is that they're bi-turboed, meaning you've got turbos that overlap as you go over the red range. It means you've got the constant power, which is good. The only other thing I'd say about this van is that it doesn't come in automatic. So if you do a lot of city driving and you're used to an automatic, this van probably isn't for you, unfortunately. It's either manual or manual. This van comes with 3 years warranty, or 100,000 miles, whichever comes first, and 3 years roadside assistance, which is, yeah, just hope you don't break down in that time. So what is this van's main rivals? Well, you've obviously got the Ford Transit, you've got Mercedes-Benz Vito, the Volkswagen Transporter, you've then got the Nissan Primemaster and the Vauxhall Vivaro, which is the same sort of van but just done by a different manufacturer or brand if you like. Comparing this van to its rivals, I would say it's not bad on the list. I would also look at the Ford Transit. I would say I probably prefer the Ford Transit driving it. I prefer the driving style. The gears feel a bit more positive going in, and overall driving I just prefer the feel of it. This van cost £26,500, which is quite dear for a van, I would say, but you do get quite a lot for your money. You've obviously got a centre dash, which is quite smart. You've got all the extra features. It looks good on the outside as well as it does on the inside. Overall, it's a nice van to drive. It's an enjoyable drive. I like it. Unfortunately, there are a few problems with this van. First of all, there's no scratch guard at the top of the rear bumper. You can buy one from Renault, £150, but you would have thought it would come standard. Bit disappointing. Then there's the interior. If you've got quite a big phone like me, you may struggle putting it into the phone holder. And bearing in mind this is maxed out. So you'll now get an even smaller phone. That doesn't fit either. And as a passenger, you'll find your knees rub against the gear shift surrounding, which isn't comfortable at all. And if you want to put your coffee down, you can't because your knees are in the way. And if the sun's directly in your eyes and you put the sun visor down, you've now got a mirror which you can't slide over. Why do I want to see myself as a passenger all the time? And then there's a dash cam, which is fitted to the dealership, but it's the wrong position. It's the left hand side of the centre screen, so as the vehicle gets dirty, half the picture will be clear and half will be dirty, due to where the wipers are. Not very well thought out at all. So at the end of the day, this van's a lot better than its previous version. It's longer, has more storage space, which means it's more practical, yet still comfy, and of course does its purpose. Good van.